hey guys, it's marianakebaso. In today's video, we're going to be filming a how to do calligraphy. So I know a lot of people are starting school soon, so I thought it was appropriate to film a video on how I do calligraphy and like the basics from like a beginner level, someone who doesn't know how to do like anything calligraphy or hand lettering related, just so that you guys would have an easier time taking your pretty notes, which I made a video on that earlier. I think like a week ago, and you can watch it. I'll have it up in the cards here, and I will also have it in the description bar down below. And if you want, you can also comment down below, and I will provide you a link as well. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So welcome to the basics of hand lettering and calligraphy with marianakebaso. In today's video, you will learn how to start calligraphy and learn it, I guess. So, number one is you need to figure out cursive. If you don't know how to do cursive, now would be the time to learn. It is tragic that there is a generation of America that does not know how to write in cursive or read it. But if you are interested in learning how to do hand lettering and calligraphy, cursive is the foundation of both hand lettering and calligraphy. So, learn how to do it or figure out your style, aka there are so many different styles of hand lettering and calligraphy out there. Not just the way that I do it, not just the way that other people do it. So I will show you some examples of styles of cursive that I am able to do. Some are more drawn out, some are big and thick and bouncy. It really just depends on the style that you enjoy. Number two would be to pick your supplies. So there's so many different types of calligraphy supplies, and they all kind of get you a different result. You can get like thicker lettering or thinner lettering, or it really just depends on your personal preference. I recommend starting out with cheaper supplies and then moving your way up as you get more comfortable with calligraphy. And I'm just going to say this, Tombow dual brush pens are overrated. You don't need to go out and spend $300 for the set. It's not worth it. But there's basically two different types of tips in a calligraphy or hand lettering marker. Hard tips or soft tips. Hard tips are mainly liquid tips like Crayola, Crazy Art like you saw earlier. Basically markers that aren't really made for calligraphy, which is why they're harder. So it's technically quote unquote harder to do calligraphy with them, but I find it a lot more satisfying just because I have a heavy hand. So soft tips, it's really hard for me to get a good upstroke like you can see right here. So some of my favorite calligraphy pens are the Corinne brush markers and the Pentel Fude Touch, which are all amazing options. They're a little bit on the pricier side. If you want to just start out, I would recommend the Crayola Super Tips in the 100 pack, which you can get 100 markers for less than $30. So the next thing you should do is work on your up and down strokes. So light, feathery up strokes, you really want to put minimal pressure. And while you're working on your up and down strokes, also work on your position. You can switch positions if it's not working for you, like the way you've placed your hand around the pen. Then work on downstrokes. Position your pen at an angle to get the thickest stroke possible. It really depends on personal preference. Some people can do calligraphy with their pen sticking straight up. I have to do it from a side angle. And then the next thing is putting your up and down strokes together so you're actually like getting ready to formulate words and not just lines. So, thin feather, hard down. Thin, hard, thin, lots of pressure. Not that much pressure, lots of pressure. And you just go on and practice like this. This is the part that I would recommend putting a lot of time towards, just because it is very important to get this part correct. I also recommend going hard down and then thin up, because this is also another style of up and down stroke that you will be doing a lot when you're lettering actual words. Some words do feather up, hard down. Some words do hard down, feather up. So it really just depends on the letter that you're lettering. And the next thing is, once you have mastered pressure and position of your pen in your up and down strokes, now you want to letter the alphabet to just kind of familiarize yourself with letters in the alphabet that you're going to be using when you're lettering, because obviously you letter words and words are made up of letters. So practicing this is really helpful. I recommend going over it at least 2 times, even if you're really familiar with your pressure and position, just because it is different lettering some U's and V's than it is lettering actual words. So practicing this is super helpful, which kind of goes into my next tip, which is practice, practice, practice. Once you have your alphabet down, you have mastered your position and your pressure. Now letter everything, aka all your notes, all your lists, your flashcards, anything that requires a title, projects, presentations, letter them. It will give you more practice, and you also might get bonus points because you are doing well. Practice equals progress, which leads to perfection. Key tip: the more you practice, the better you get. Now we're going into fall lettering. So I will give you guys a little quick tutorial on fall lettering. So fall lettering is basically just cursive, but you thicken your downstrokes, or bolden your downstrokes as I wrote it. So you're going to start with the cursive of the word. So obviously to start fall lettering, you need to work on your cursive. If you already know it, then start with the cursive of a word. So I'm just going to demonstrate with the word hello because it's very simple. The next thing you're going to do is identify your up and down strokes in that specific word. So when I was first trying to do this, I did it really small, so it was kind of hard to see. So I just made it bigger so that you guys could get a more clear picture of the up and down strokes in the word hello. The next thing you're going to do is thicken those down strokes now that you've identified them. So in hello, it's thickened when your pen is going downwards. So this is just me thickening those parts. And you don't want to thicken anything else. It might look a little weird at first, but only thicken your downstrokes until you reach the end. And once you've finished doing your fall lettering on the word, then you want to go back in and just add some additional thickness if necessary. So like I said here, just adjust the thickness to actually fit the word and make it look a little bit more natural, per se. Practice, again, practice with fall lettering is key. It'll take time for you to learn to identify the up and down strokes in every single word, because every single word is different and it's not going to look the same for everything that you letter, and practice will help you learn to identify those differences.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed filming it. My hand is low-key cramped up right now because of all the lettering that I just did. But I hope you guys learned something, and if you want more like an in-depth tutorial, let me know. This was just like a quick little video that I thought I would film to help you guys out and make your notes a little bit more cute. So yeah.